Hi, my name is Sue.
And this is Dear Bride.
Hey, kwani una jina?
Your name. Mmeniambia what to say.
But must say your name.
What do you
You have a name. Say your name.
Dear Bride.
I apologize. I'm sorry, Esther.
Guys, this is Fee.
Hi, my name is Sue.
Hi, I'm S. And this is Dear Bride.
And this is.
This is.
And this.
And this is.
This.
And this is.
And this is Dear Bride.
I'm so excited.
Me too. Yet another episode.
Yes.
Welcome. If you've not watched the previous episodes, go
the way,
back. And if you're watching this and you've not subscribed,
Robbery without violence.
please press on the
Stop
red.
Just
red
stop
button,
it.
Subscribe.
Stop stealing.
Yes, if you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that anytime we are posting an episode, you know, ukwe wa kwanza kuwa notified. So today, we have an amazing lady on set. And as you all know, we are talking about times and seasons in this season, of Dear Bride KE podcast. And so, put your hands together for Esther. But right before she talks, I think so you should tell us what are we talking about in this particular episode.
Before we say what we are talking about in this particular episode, this guest, she comes from Cambridge, hails from the slopes of Kikuyu. Content creator extraordinaire.
Yes, by the way.
Ameanza hata kupata sponsorships. Akona sponsors. Huko kwa mtandao tunaambiwa tu, you know, tunafanyiwa voiceovers, tunafanyiwa recaps. Guys, when we grow up, we aspire to have the consistency. Yeah, so Esther, tell us about yourself. What's your name? Though we've already called you.
Okay, already we've already said, but now she can tell us more about herself.
Yes. And how are you feeling being here today?
Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me to this wonderful podcast. You guys are doing something so amazing.
Thank you.
I'm S. I am. So now, what do I start with?
Whichever you want.
Anywhere.
Here, by the way,
We are free.
Do you?
Okay.
You do you.
So I am a wife. So I think that's relevant.
For sure.
Because I was once a bride.
Yes.
I am a mom of two wonderful girls. I'm also, so for work, I'm a software engineer by day and content creator and meme sharer.
Come on. Real sharer. All the above. Tea master.
Yeah, by night, by evening. So I enjoy all things life, all things building family, community, connections. I think that's something I'm most passionate about. Women and community. And just, talking about things.
Come on.
Yeah.
One other title you've not said is you're an activist. Yes. In these streets, people
tell us about it.
You're a digital activist, but also when there's going to the ground, you also go to the ground.
Yes, so I'm a digital activist. I go by the title feminist. And I advocate for the well-being and safety of mostly women and children. Yes. For years now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tuko na watu hapa, important people. You should know people.
Knowing people.
Right?
Yeah. Very important. Can bring something, I sign an autograph.
She'll sign Dear Bride copies.
By the way, she should sign Dear Bride copies and we will need them to you guys.
Yeah. So in this season, we are actually discussing it's times and seasons.
It's times
You've
in
seen
this
what I've
season,
done there.
times and seasons.
Yes.
Clock it. Get it?
And today we are particularly talking about the season of motherhood.
Motherhood. Yes.
And marriage in general as well,
Sure.
because in this scenario, the motherhood came through marriage.
Marriage.
right?
Yes. Context.
And then what happens therein? Because there's
True.
a lot. There's a lot. I feel like we can't discuss it in one sitting.
Yes.
However, today Esther will share with us her story and her experiences. And then, we hope to learn
Yes.
a thing or two.
Yes. So we can get it started. I think the first question would be, tell us about like childhood, growing up, and then up to now. If you can probably do a summary right before we get into motherhood, because there's the context of how you were brought up, how you grew, the surroundings, the experiences you had while growing up, right before now we get into like the main conversation.
Because remember, it's times and seasons.
Times and
It happens
seasons.
to all of us.
Yes.
And most of the things how we take life, our view about life, starts from when we are a child.
Yeah, starts from there.
So that's something we are doing with all our guests.
All our guests. Like you
You're
just
telling
tell us,
your story. Who are you?
practically your story.
Where do you come from? Akonyeri.
I know. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, is there anything outstanding about my childhood?
No, it doesn't have to be a TO outstanding. You can just say, what you feel comfortable sharing.
I was born in the mid 1990s in Nazareth Hospital.
Come on.
My mother says I was the heaviest baby.
Ulimsumbua sana.
But so I was born to my two parents.
Yeah.
I could say I've been raised in South B for most of my life.
Ish. This season we are
This
getting
season is like Nairobians.
Yes.
And I could say I was born when life was moderately good.
Yeah.
Being there's always that set of the firstborns. I mean the set of the last. When you find like your parents have settled into
life.
Yes.
Life.
So
Most of the
life
time.
was nice.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's what I would say about my childhood.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Life was good.
Yeah. For the most part, like I could say, as a child, life was pretty okay. The usual go to church on Sundays. I was a relatively good performer in school. At some point, I did end up in boarding school for some time, but I really didn't mind.
Yeah.
I feel like I was a very self-aware
This was for primary or secondary?
from primary.
Oh.
About class 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could say I was pretty self-aware, pretty independent.
Okay.
So I didn't mind. I don't have those like trauma from school kind of
Stories.
Like you were just okay.
I
like
was just
with the-
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point I quit.
You quit school.
Like you quit school.
Like I quit going for boarding. Like there's one time I was
Oh.
so homesick. I just came home with everything. And when I would be questioned like, why have you come back with everything? And are you planning on going back? I'm just quiet. And then in January, when like we are approaching opening school, I was like, I'm not going back. I'm just not going back.
Wow.
So like the whole time you did not go
Anyway.
back.
Yeah, and funny enough, my parents didn't fight me on it.
Yeah.
I think probably they even surprised I had lasted like a
That
year.
long.
So that's maybe the funny story. So I came back home,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I can't study at home with the TV and so after a year I asked to go back.
You are like,
Also,
no,
you need
uko
home and
sirudi
you're like,
tena.
okay, I need to go back to.
Yeah, I need to go back.
Yeah.
I think I had gotten kind of used to it, and that's why I finished school. And yeah, pretty by the book kind of
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So now you finish high school, then you go to uni,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So take us through that story. And
that
then
season.
tell us how you also met your uko na mtu.
Uko na mtu kwanza?
Niko naye sijui kaa kona mimi.
One thing to be with someone, it's another for them to be with you.
It's true. Ni muhimu
Ni
kuuliza.
muhimu kuuliza.
Ni muhimu.
Mtamuuliza.
Tamuuliza, atakuja hapa.
Yeah.
Tamuuliza.
So went to campus in somewhere in Rongai. Go to Rongai and that school with Warthogs. That's where I was.
I should go and ask Abel.
Go and ask.
Which school is that?
I know, at this point I'm confused. I'm like, there are quite a number of schools around there, so which one is that?
Yeah, which one is it?
So we went there.
Yeah.
The Multimedia University.
Oh,
I was studying business and IT.
Yeah.
And what was significant? I mean, I was happy. I was just happy to be in campus.
Yeah.
In campus, you're learning to kind of chart your own path. It's basically you're dropped there and you like start figuring your adulthood
Yeah.
by yourself.
By the
It's
way.
true.
Are you taken to school to sign up, etc. and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Guys, last balls.
No,
Guys
what-
close to last balls.
Do they say we were the plant children?
Yeah, because
Most people say
no, but Fiona was a firstborn and
I'm a
Hash was
firstborn
taken
and
to
I was
school.
taken to school.
Me, I wasn't. Me, I was
Yeah,
told,
she wasn't.
look for the
She-
school you want. What do you want to do? Okay, sawa. Here's
Okay.
the fee. Go pay.
Go pay.
I went
Go
paid.
nini
I
yourself.
enrolled myself in school. All
You
those
started.
things. Yeah.
I
So if I wanted to eat money, I would have eaten that money.
oh God.
Yeah.
I do tend to think my sister would say the same.
Eh?
Yeah.
Or Hash wasn't taken to uni.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I remember, so the difference is for her, she would be trusted with the money
Yeah.
to
Oh.
go pay for herself.
Yeah.
No, me though.
Wewe walikujua wewe unapenda soft life.
Naweza kula na nirudi.
Unaweza kula na lazima tu
I mean,
atakusomesha,
kama
so
anaenda anakuja na box
box na
nyumbani.
anasema arudi
Anasema
shule.
sirudi.
Yes.
Clearly.
Dangerous.
So
Yeah.
that was me in campus. Exploring, I could say, all facets of adulthood. So
Yeah.
that is dating, friendships, side hustles.
Uh-huh. Which side hustle
Side
did you do?
hustles.
Which side hustle did I do? Can I remember? I remember doing an ad
Oh.
As a model.
for Safaricom.
Look at you.
Hey, look at
I
you.
tried one of those ones. Hatukuchunguliwa.
I'm sorry, open
Yeah.
a connection. So just those
Yeah.
small
Oh, those
things
minis that
like
you
that
would-
that
yeah.
come up and someone is like, oh, we need guys to do this. I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah.
I was also very active in some of the extracurriculars. I was in politics a bit, not politics, but like the IEBC
Like
of the school.
It's
campus.
still politics, no?
It's still politics,
It's
just
still
that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
on a lower scale, but it's still politics either
Yeah.
way.
This is nakonga lower scale kweli.
No,
Me, I
and
used
it
to
was
see what
fully
people
fledged,
are
and
doing.
I was also in politics in campus, but
Hata
I
wewe?
decided, yeah.
Hey.
I vied for a seat and I won. Anyway, guys,
Hey, which city is
I'm
that?
not a politician, though. I quit that. I think after campus, I was like,
I know your friends would say otherwise.
I'm done.
When a politician. Now I see it. Now I see it.
Now you see it.
I didn't also know that you are politics, but now I see
No,
it.
I was not a politician, but I can't
But you got
remember.
into
I can't
it.
remember the role. Like I was the secretary. Was I the secretary of the IEBC?
The elections
governing
body.
body.
Commission.
The commission.
I was a commissioner.
Ah.
Yeah, I think that's the word.
Okay.
I was also in. I don't know if you've heard of ISEC.
Yeah. I think it's across unis, most of the
Yes.
universities. Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of those things, and now it's when I was in campus. So at some point, I decided to join CU. I think I was in sometime in second year.
Yeah.
I think it's second year. I was like, okay, my motivations for joining
Please tell us.
I really would want to hear.
were heartbreak.
Ah,
I had chopped breakfast.
Yeah,
You were
searching for the Lord
heartbroken.
to heal your
Yeah,
heart.
so I wanted to center myself.
Heartbreak. Kumbe heartbreaks also lead people to cry.
Imagine.
Ay.
So I go.
So you actually joined and you need CEO. Now you are
Yeah,
CEO
I did.
girl.
It's not like I wasn't a Christian,
I know what you mean.
but
Like
I never used to
go
attend. And
for-
most of the time, going to church, I would go home over the weekend and we'd
okay.
go to church. So I never really, like, in campus. And church for us at home was intense.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't want to carry that.
Wait, like when you mean intense, what does it mean? Like you would go in the morning and you'd stay through.
Yeah, so sometimes we
and-
would go to church on Friday. Like, there's something on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. My dad was a pastor.
Okay, yeah. Now,
So your
now
weekend is
you've
spoken
given
for.
perspective into church was intense at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, so I was like, when I was in campus, why would I spend any more time?
Yeah, I can imagine.
I wanted to rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And kind of the way it was set up, it's like church was mandatory for me at home.
Yeah.
And even maybe that's why you have to go home. You have to go home.
Oh, so that you go to church. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that they keep monitoring your behaviors.
Yeah. Wewe umeanza kutoka kwa Mungu wewe.
Umeanza kutoka kwa Mungu.
So
Come back.
at this point, I was like, okay, I was going to see you because, when you're worshiping and you start crying, Lord bless you.
We last yes. People think it's the Holy Spirit. Kumbe wewe you're nursing a heartbreak.
Yeah, but of course now when I went there, I got immersed in the community and we had such a lovely CU community. It
Yeah.
was so lovely. It felt like home. It was very free,
Yeah.
make a lot of friends, and so I grew to enjoy it.
Wow.
I really enjoyed the community.
Yeah.
And I immersed myself in it, and all the activities.
Yeah.
We used to have many, like our content calendar was full, and it made campus so much fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, so while I was there, I joined. There's what they call the cell group, during there were all these days, like Monday you do intercession, Tuesday there's worship practice, then I think it was Wednesday there was family,
Yeah.
which was like the cell group.
Yeah.
where-
So you meet in clusters in different
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember what we would call the OGS, or the organizing secretary at that time, meeting me. You remember, Mia means you for the vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I don't want you to get to see. And one day he meets me and he's like, you have to join her.
A cell group.
And I had
cell
dodged it because they print the names and everything. And he was like, I can't see your name, so I'm going to fix you somewhere. So he's like, this family, I think you should go to this one. And the next thing I know, I'm being whisked away to the whatever,
group,
and I walk into this cell group and I see the most gorgeous man
Hey.
Come on.
Come on.
leading the cell group. And I was like, okay.
If they are gorgeous men, why not?
I mean, you know what? I've seen this guy around. I've never had him speak.
Yeah.
Like, and I was even telling my friend, I'll never come back here again, but I would like to hear him speak or whatever. So,
Yeah. And other things.
so I sit there. It's becoming fun. I don't know if it's on that day that they chose like people to facilitate the cell group activities. Next thing I know,
Yeah.
I was selected for something, and we became so okay. We had a working relationship.
Come on. It starts like that.
With this gorgeous.
This gorgeous man.
Alright. Good
So-
working relationship. That's where it
Yeah.
starts.
So he tells me, so what I was in charge of was like the food. So like when you have movie nights, you
Yeah.
want popcorn, or you have a family dinner and whatever. And I was like, okay, I can facilitate that. And for whatever reason, instead of texting me details, like looking for my number, and this person hands me down to my room to ask for stuff, and I tend to think he would just look for opportunities to look for you, to talk face to face. So next thing we are chatting, and kind of now we form a friendship. Even beyond that, like I think once that season ended, of him being like the leader there, the facilitator there. So we continued just chatting, and it was a slow burn, honestly. Because for me, I had this thing where I was like, I would never look in the direction of a church boy. Never, ever. And from my conversations with him, someone who's been in CU, primary school, high school.
Like throughout their lives.
Throughout their lives, they don't know anything
challenges
else. And I was like, I can never be me. Can never be me. But and then so later to find out that in that season I had been heartbroken, and only to find out that he was also
nothing a breakup,
and he actually said he'd never be with a chick who's in CU. And how
so
you find
you
each other in
guys, like
CU.
he had said never in CU, you had said never to a church boy.
So we continue, and even for some time it didn't look like it. I just knew that he makes me happy, like a friend, as a friend. But we continue being friends, and it's actually people who started. So we had not noticed how frequently we are meeting and hanging out, and it's actually people who started kind of making it a thing.
Hey, and you've been people started like
they walk past you, and I hadn't noticed because I was mostly in catering, so he would find me like, so our CU had a small kitchen, so he would hang back like there's something going on, but he's like
huku anapiga story,
waiting for me, and everyone is passing there, and they're like, you just know campus, and his friends and everything. But it was a really slow burn. By the time people were making those comments, I think we still just maintained friendship for a couple of moments. Before he asked me,
what are we?
So he asked me, could we do this, and I gave him all the reasons why it wouldn't work. And I was like, you still want to do this? I was like, Mr. Kijokes,
hebu kwa serious
wewe,
sina mwingine
staki
ila wewe.
So we hit it off, and I could say that his final year, so that was his final year in campus. My third year was like the best time in campus for me. Like we had so much fun. We reminisce on that with so much fondness. Dating on campus is so much fun.
It's easy
because literally apart from classes,
is
the two of you. We would read together, taking walks, going for food. We learned how to swim together. We had a very cool swimming pool in school. And then the teachers would strike, and we'd be like,
come on, Sherehe reloaded.
Give us one more week. So we really, really enjoyed that time. And
that's really good. So now we fast forward, you guys end up getting married.
Yes. So I don't know whether to mention this. Maybe it might be relevant to someone. So after campus, remember, so he's starting to look for work and all that. He's tarmac hill. I'm still in campus, and that was a season.
Yeah, I can imagine
Things
because
just
you were
changed.
used to being together.
Yes.
You're
Now-
in campus together, spending time together, and
Yeah.
now he has, he's completed school. He's tamarking.
Yeah.
You're still in school.
I'm still in school. I still have the expectations of at least we meet
Yeah.
weekly or something like that. And the nature of like I think at that time he was at an internship. The nature of the internship was sometimes he would be working over the weekend.
Yeah.
He's not earning as much to be able to
Commute to and fro.
yes. So, and I'm having this expectation of you come from campus, you get a job. In fact,
It
our
should be
dating
direct.
life becomes even more lit.
Yeah,
'Cause I have a
because now,
working man.
yes.
My man's working.
Mm.
So we have all these expectations.
Yeah.
And so I think there were expectations on my part, yes. And there was also on his side
Yeah.
being like I want to give you a particular experience, and if I can't, then we can't spend time. And I was like, I just want to see you, just pop by. I just want to see you.
Yeah.
And with all these changes that are happening, and after you date for some time with those changes, you start being like
Lethargic.
and okay. And also I think one thing we mentioned that time, because we talked about it, was what happens after you sometimes meet the end game. You know, this person, the logical next step
Yeah.
is probably getting married. And for campus, for a lot of couples in campus,
Yeah.
like you get a job,
And then you marry.
you start planning to settle down.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with a lot of realization, because you realize I've not had so many experiences.
Yes.
Maybe, why am I making this decision?
Yes.
Am I rushing?
Yeah.
What else?
What
could
else
there
could
be?
there be? And I think
I'm discovering myself.
yes.
Will I funga
I'm just
myself
like,
in this
whoa.
institution?
Yeah, and he was also
Am I too
changing.
young?
Remember, by the time we are dating, I think we were under 25. So the prefrontal cortex is coming.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's just a lot and the difference. So we decide to break up. Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, by the way, nipate time. Let me just explore.
Yeah, and we were just
Mutual agreement.
we were just getting
okay.
into loggerheads. It got nasty privately, but no, in the sense that I'm breaking up with you. Like, no, I'm breaking up with you.
Wewe uniachi, mimi ndio
And
nakuacha.
like, these are your issues, and I'm like, these are your issues. And at that point, you were like, this is irreconcilable. But looking at it, back there, I think it was out of that fear of we are too young and we are settling down. We panicked.
Yeah.
We panicked because we knew what was coming. And after a while, we were like, soko ni chafu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hata si more.
Yeah, and when we walked through, for whatever reason, when we were apart, he was like, I see your perspective. And I was like, I think I overreacted. I see your perspective. Yeah, and
Let's try this again.
Yeah.
Let's just try.
And even after we got back to, I don't even think we took,
Another break.
not even a break.
Didn't take long.
It didn't take long.
Yeah.
We were engaged.
Come
We were
on.
getting married. Because at the end of the day,
You want to spend time
we
with
knew
each other.
because I remember one of the statements I made to him was, I feel like you'll be a good husband, but you're not a good boyfriend.
So let's fast track it. Let's
Hey, I feel like
how to get a man to engage you
you'll be a
quickly.
good husband,
Yeah.
but
Hii boyfriend una
they will
struggle.
boyfriend una struggle nayo.
let me say like Baba Jimmy, venye unanitongosa. I don't like
Kidogo iko na
needs
shida.
improvement.
Washirika wanakuona huko nje
washirika
unakaa
Huko
kama
nje.
Right.
people said ati huyu Baba Jimmy, if these kids grow up and realize they are US citizens, they'll be living in Western.
All along.
No, I I think they'd be happy. Imagine eating real chicken. Unajua huko juu majuu wanakula plastics.
Ni ukweli. But hawataiona hivyo.
But,
Aliwanyima
it will be
future.
different.
But they are living anyway.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
living,
Yeah.
True. Lakini sasa if they go to America, I saw they were going to America. Takuwa huko tu. You can chick.
America.
But kids will outgrow so fast.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Kids
For
adapt
sure.
so fast.
Baba
They'll
Jimmy
be
ndio
seeing their
watu
videos
wake
and they're like,
watamuuliza.
they'll be seeing
Those
their videos and they're like,
gosh. I know.
I
Is that
don't
us?
think I was
it's not
speaking
us.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
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 Ah.
So you are fast.
So you guys now got engaged.
yes. Very beautiful.
Yeah, it
Very
was
romantic.
beautiful. I voted for you guys. See, there was
Yes,
something. It was a
yes.
competition.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
there
was
was a
a
competition
nini?
for
Yeah.
but this was for the coverage, the video and photo coverage of the wedding. So
Nice.
we won. But that's a story for another day. They never edited our content. Anyway, weddings and drama.
I know.
So yeah, he got this. Was it a Chinese or a Korean restaurant called All Our Friends, and I was coming from work. I was stressed,
Yeah.
but made my day. Proposed, and then this was COVID time.
Yeah.
And no, this was
It was
just
before.
before COVID time. So we start planning everything. COVID hits.
Yeah.
In the midst of planning your
Yeah,
Okay.
everything.
Yes.
I think we just
Oh.
did the introduction and then COVID happened, or like that's when it was starting.
It was
I
starting.
can't remember. Was our introduction was in April of 2020.
Oh, that was
that
during
was
COVID.
like now COVID was here with us.
Yeah.
Wait, when was our introduction? That was Rorasho. Rorasho was April 2020.
So the introduction
the
had been
introduction
earlier.
was like December or November.
And then before
just
COVID.
before.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
right before. Yeah.
So by the time we're doing the intro, we don't know what's going to happen in
Yeah.
2020. We've already set the dates.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing our Aurora show, just the nuclear family.
Yes.
And I think just one representative on each side, I guess.
Yeah.
COVID. Yes.
I liked it like that though.
Oh, like very.
You're not alone. We are many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
by the time it was getting to August, the restrictions had started loosening up.
Yeah.
We were allowed 60 guests. So
Wow.
we did our wedding at a hotel.
Yeah.
That time it was
But
only
now 60 or manage.
Yeah.
Some of us.
Fiona had 1,000 people.
what?
1,000 plus, yes.
What?
Well,
But it was so beautiful, so
yeah, because that
intimate.
is nice,
Intimate.
close circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, you can
Yeah.
you practically know everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
People get mad at you, but we move.
With COVID,
definitely.
I'm like, I forgot.
I think this
You
season
forgot.
The government was the issue.
this
Not me.
season
Not
to
me.
make people highly emotive, like.
Yes. Because our wedding
Because
planning.
Yeah.
the whole process.
Starting
And
with your parents.
I think it's the onset of every season of life. Because
True.
the next time I've felt such kind of pressure is when you have a newborn, like a
Yeah.
baby, and everyone is
on your case.
On your case.
there's a
and
lot
on the
of drama.
baby.
There's
Yeah.
a lot
Yes.
of expectations
True.
Yeah.
from the naming to the yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something now I've grown to expect. I don't think now, and you know what happens is after a while, life goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
life
Yes.
goes
We
on.
are all adults.
Yeah,
Who's in Ijapa?
and I think I'm so happy that kind of I am beyond those.
The pressures
Yeah, especially
It's
of
a lot
the
of
wedding and the
pressure.
first kid is.
is over, yeah.
Yeah, ukishakuwa mama sasa no one cares. You join the league of veterans.
Come on.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah.
So,
So now-
you have your wedding, and then now, of course, you move in together with the love of
Yes.
your life, and you're starting life.
Yeah.
How did that look like? Because I know there are people who the first year is amazing, good, and everything, and conflict starts coming in the second year. There are those who the first year is conflict,
Yeah.
and then we now get used to each other, and now things get start getting nice in the second year? How was the dynamic in your
For you
case?
guys.
Like for you guys.
I actually met our premarital counselor the other day, and she was calling us Index 1 because during premarital we basically didn't have
Issues.
issues. You know, every topic we would kind of like be on the same page.
Yeah.
We didn't like, our sessions were so boring because we're not bringing them any tea.
Yeah.
They don't have anything to solve, you know. And so another part to it is we came straight from home to moving in together.
Each of you, like, he came from home. You came from home.
Yes.
Moved in together.
I think he barely stayed alone. Barely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the next thing
You are moving in.
we were moving in, and the first year was amazing. Actually, is it the first 2 years, I guess? Yeah. So the first 2 years were amazing.
Yeah.
Basically everything especially that I wanted, from the partnership to the romance. What I feel like is we didn't go out more.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got used to the COVID kind of
Period. Yes.
because especially our first year of marriage, there still used to be some restrictions.
Yeah.
Like people would go out a bit and then you're told, you know,
You stay back.
you stay back, and then sometimes the office would tell you, you know,
Work from home.
work from home.
Yes.
So we really just got used to being
together.
homebodies, being together, and we used to have such a beautiful
Time.
Yeah.
Come on.
So 2 years laughs, you know, things are going amazing.
Yes.
And then and of course I assume you had already struck a balance with like dealing with each other's side of the family, that is the in-laws, and that was not a problem. And then now here comes a season where you learn my body is not behaving as usual. Like, you know, most of the people actually.
That's a very motherly description.
Yes, I'm a mother. Then because I think for me, I just started feeling awkward. Like, mbona all of a sudden sipendi to chai? You know, like, I have loved tea, I've loved watermelon. All of a sudden, it's tasting different. Like, there's just something that is not going. Like, there's something happening to me.
Something wrong.
So I think for us it's actually very it's opposite. So what happened is I was like hey, by now, and the way we were
Reacting.
No, you just
we were freelancing, we were so I was wondering, hey, we've not even had a slip up or anything.
Oh, and this you are, you know, you're like,
I'm like, we are not trying to prevent much. And I was like, there has to be, I started just suspecting, maybe there's something wrong. And I became obsessed with this idea that I think there's something wrong, and we decided to go to a gyna just to give us the
peace of mind.
Yeah, because I think that by this time it was like by December is when I'm like, hey, we've stayed for a while. You know, there should be that one scare that makes you go to look for contraceptives.
Yes.
So we never had that.
Wait a minute, like all along.
You are feeling
And there was no scare.
Yes, then there was no scare. And so from January, I couldn't. We started trying, but not
trying. As in,
we're just seeing, and I'm like, by April, I'm like, yo,
something
my
needs
mom
to
told
give.
me if you breathe near a boy, you get pregnant.
True, but
now
you're
you're
told, hey,
living
don't
with
even
one.
sit with
I'm
them.
living with one.
With one, you
I'm sleeping with one.
Yes.
We are playing.
Yeah. Why isn't something happening?
So I was like, okay, let me just go and get the. And funny enough, we go to the doc, and he's like, everything is good. In fact, I can see an egg is about to drop. And we were like, cool. At least now we know.
There's nothing wrong, per se.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So we go, and funny enough, that month I get pregnant. I get pregnant, and I think I knew almost immediately because I'm a regular cycle girly. Can you relate?
Yeah, I relate.
Oh.
Hey.
So can you relate?
Yeah.
Okay. So immediately it's
You
off
just
by
go
a
on.
day.
Unajua tu
Unajua
hapa.
tu, unaanza,
Yeah. So I was secretly kind of, okay. The worst thing with these kinds of things is, I don't know if you've ever heard of stories of people who have like a clean bill of health, but they just can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
So with these things,
Like those.
you never know until it happens.
happens.
There's
True,
no
yeah.
way
True, you won't know.
there's no way to test the theory.
Yeah.
So I think what was disturbing me was I could ignore and be like, I'll get a baby at an X and X certain age.
Yeah.
And then you get there
And then it's not happening.
and you realize, oh my, I wish I
I
would
would
have.
have sorted it
Sorted
out
it out
earlier.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such a sad thing. It's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Because you just think I'm normal, I'm okay, it's
Yes.
going to be fine later on. So I made the personal decision to be like, okay, so I was like, okay, at least let's have this just one to make sure the systems are
Are working.
and then we can know about the rest. And mind you, by this time I was not sure whether I wanted to have kids or not. I was like, by the way, I could be child free. Up until
Yeah.
I didn't have the choice. Now.
Oh yeah.
like it
'cause
has
now you're
already
pregnant.
happened.
No,
like,
no. It's when you realize you might not actually be able to get pregnant.
Oh yeah. Then you are like, oh wait,
Oh.
no, I want.
Yes,
Oh, I get
want-
like
I
when you
want.
realize it's not happening, and then you're like, yeah, by there I want.
Because
Yeah.
actually, it's
Like
a
you're
stereotype
there.
people have that you think it happens as easy.
Yes.
As easy as
As
the
you
way
know, so long as we
but
have
you
sex,
see,
we
in
get.
the African context, our parents used to describe that, like they used to tell us, if you go near if you just
Yeah.
try, pap, it happens.
it
So we grew up
happens.
knowing
Yeah.
It's so easy.
it is so
Up
easy and
until now,
automatic.
in that season, I was joining TTC groups, trying to conceive groups, and so it became worse later. So I lost the pregnancy in the first trimester, which exasperated my anxieties now.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm already thinking,
Iko
something
kitu.
is fishy.
Something is
And then now you get
you
pregnant.
get pregnant.
Do you
and
guys
then
go to
now-
hospital? Ama you test
Yes,
at home?
yes. I started feeling, so I had been feeling like cramping and all that all through.
Yeah.
And for a while I was ignoring it because of the stereotype of mimba si ugonjwa.
like implantation.
Implantation, some people
that
cramp.
happen.
Yeah,
Yes.
You spot a little.
So I was not taking it seriously.
Okay.
I was just like, it'll pass until one day.
Yeah.
So I go get checked on and everything. I think that first sonographer already knew,
Yeah.
but to manage
you
me,
and how you're feeling and your
he
feelings.
referred me. So he was
Oh.
like, in the morning, go to High Neema, and they can do. So there are two types of ultrasounds, and the best ultrasound in the first trimester is they call it the intra what? There's one for on top and there's one for inserting.
Intrauterine, is it? No,
Yes.
the one they insert the nini and
Yes, and check.
Yeah.
So that's what the one they had was for.
they're
The one for
outside. The one they
outside.
just nini on.
And he kept saying, I'm not sure what I'm seeing.
Oh.
Yeah. That first pregnancy was weird because he was also saying he's seeing chambers, which I didn't understand. So I don't know if they were multiples, I don't know. Yeah. But he couldn't say for sure what has happened.
Okay.
So by this time, shout out to my mother-in-law. So she was the one. She arrived before my husband.
Yeah.
Don't know why he was held up that day, but she arrived first, took me home. And the next day I was still so we talked about it at night.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, let's not be pessimistic. You
Oh,
know,
because you had started feeling it sort of.
let's not be pessimistic. And I think now that night is when we saw blood. But we were like, let's not be pessimistic. We've not been given the final word.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And my sister had gone through something similar, and her baby survived. So I was like, okay, we might.
There's
go.
hope.
There's hope.
Yeah.
And so even in the morning, I just tell him, you know what, you head to work. In case of anything,
I'll let you
I'll let you know. And even that day, I've not taken leave. We go to the hospital and
You're being told the
I
baby's
Told
gone.
you.
I couldn't even hear anything else. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So I'm there. And while this sonographer is checking me, he starts saying, hii yako hata ni afadhali.
Why?
Kuna mtu hata jana amepoteza. Imagine kupoteza mtoto full term. Okay.
I don't know why. By the way, this is not the first
But
case where I've
your
had doctors
comparison of
say
grief.
very
You know, for him,
insensitive
for him
statements.
it's day to day.
Day-
Yani,
yeah.
he has
Used to
seen
it.
he has
He has
seen
seen
worse
so much.
cases
Yeah.
than yours in
So
the
you
morning.
is like,
Yeah.
this
And he's
one.
saying hata sahi wacha nikwambie uende ukisafishwa utashika mimba tu sahi.
Aye.
And hata uja process.
Hata
know,
sija-
You
Unapoteza.
just told me right
I am
now.
still on the table.
Hey.
Oh, he's still like continuing to nini you as he's talking. Okay, give me those.
Ati sasa unaona hapa.
Oh.
I was like,
Hata hauoni. You cannot, of course, as in you're already overtaken by emotion.
And I walk out of there because now they're telling me to go for a procedure called DNC.
Yeah, where they clean
They
your
clean you.
Yeah.
nini, yeah.
And so that at least
So
there's
that-
no residue
Yeah.
True.
because of infections and
Yeah.
all that. I'm still not processing what has happened.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was
Because
pregnant.
you had a baby the
Yes.
other day. Ukitoka kwa nyumba ulikuwa na mtoto.
Ulikuwa unajua. And plus there was hope that this baby would survive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, even going in, my mom-in-law was like, "You're sure you're going to go alone?" You know. And so I get out. I can't see. I can't think.
Yeah.
And also this DNC is costing money
Yeah.
Yes.
that I was not prepared. You know, today.
Yeah.
And it had, because they usually say it's you have to do it.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to do
can't
it then.
postpone
Then
it,
there's
you
no
have-
ati.
There's no ati.
At the end of the month.
Itakuja.
Yeah.
It's now, right now.
Yeah, so I leave, get an Uber. I don't know what that guy in that Uber thought. I enter the Uber.
Yeah.
First of all, I knew I'm going for the
Checkup.
checkup, and then I hop into a meeting. Hey, I call my supervisor crying. I'm like, I can't come in today. I hop into an Uber. I'm bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
I get to the house and now I have this decision to make because they're like, you can either take the pills, but
So that it needs
but
expels.
yeah, but you see the point is if it doesn't expel properly,
You
you
still
still
have
have
to
do
go
the-
through the
yeah.
procedure. Yes.
So and my mom-in-law is in the medical field, so I tell her everything and she's like, let me consult for you, then we hear. And
Yeah.
also the choice of the hospital. So Bay gets home, comes with takeout. I'm an emotional eater. So we drew the cuttings
Yeah.
and just
Ate your feelings and cried.
ate. I'm crying. He's just staring into.
Doesn't even know how to
Oblivion.
exactly. I know.
And tomorrow morning we are going to get the procedure
The
done.
procedure. Yeah.
We go. They start saying, "I need to be admitted after." I'm like,
What
I
do you
thought
mean?
it's just a procedure where I come in, we finish, and then
I go home.
Yeah.
So we go there and he can't access me. My husband can't access me there's a way once you start going the theater route.
It's a theater-ish
Yes.
setup. Yeah.
So we go, and the worst thing is, where are you? Maternity.
Of course
So
it
you're
has to
hearing
be, but
noises
ni-
and people giving birth.
Wacha tumalizane na huyu juu yake tu ni kutoa tuende
Imagine,
CS.
you hear very insensitive okay, to them it's not insensitive,
Yeah.
but from where you sit,
wanapanga tu kazi. So there's a CS before me, there's a CS after.
Yeah.
I'm hearing kids crying, moms celebrating, people coming to visit the it was so much grief. And so I remember whoever made the decision, there was one empty ward. So there was the ward where moms had gone after they deliver.
Yeah.
So fortunately, you see now where you go before
To wait for
delivery.
labor.
So I was the only one there. So they chose that place for me to, because I couldn't. If I'm hearing the kids from across the ward and I am crying,
what about when you're there with them?
they are next to
Exactly.
It would just be something else.
Yes.
honestly.
So, and this time they're like, you have to remain alone. So
You can't have
goes home.
someone.
Wait, like no one, like they didn't allow anyone to like stay back.
So
and
this,
then
they've
you-
already done the procedure, and
Yeah.
then now you've left theater. Now you're
And I
back.
was almost going crazy after, because after the procedure, I don't know if it's the drugs or what, I kept wanting to see the baby.
I don't think it's drugs, because it's something I was going to ask you if you had sounds, like hearing either a cry or wanting to ask for your child and not
like
knowing.
either we just see.
Yes.
Yes, so coming out, you're put in a recovery. So first of all, when I went in, they're supposed to just numb you downwards and do whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
But when I was in the theater, I started feeling, and they had to numb me. Okay, not numbing. What is
Take you
the
out.
word?
It's like
They had to give me full anesthesia.
full anesthesia.
Yeah.
So I was out completely.
Yeah.
And so when I came to, I don't know, I was so sure maybe this was my reasoning, that maybe when they went in, they found the baby. I don't know. They found the baby, that the baby is okay.
Yeah.
And okay, knowing now what I didn't know then is that a baby is only viable like at 24 weeks.
Yeah, true.
But somehow in my head I was like, then allow me to
still a
just
baby.
see.
Whatever is there.
whatever.
Let me
Yeah.
just see. And then I don't know why I was in the recovery room for so long. And I woke up. I see across from me there's someone who's been covered with a white sheet
They were dead.
on this, the trolley.
The
guy.
trolley
Yeah.
that they nini.
I think they cover. Okay, understanding it's like they covered that someone like that for warmth or whatever. But
Or
when
they covered up to here.
for me, I had seen like they had covered up to because I
The
couldn't see the
head.
face, and then they rolled them away.
Hakuwa ameenda.
No.
Hakuwa ameenda.
Aquamenda, because apparently I was covered this. So
But you didn't even realize it.
Theatre
when
iko
I
na
come
maneno.
to,
But did they cover you because theater has to be very low temperatures because of germs, so they have to
Yeah.
be a temperature where germs cannot survive.
yeah.
So it's like freezing cold.
Yeah, so I
inside the
woke up
theater.
shivering. So I'm like, the way I'm cold and I can't move my body,
But yes, you
I must
shiver.
be dead.
Okay, sorry, but that's just.
What? You are like me nimeenda.
Ai,
Niko
nimeenda.
mbinguni.
And then Nikitana, no one is coming.
Anakuja.
And from a distance,
The day of
I
recording
can
was
hear
with you.
my partner and I can hear my mother-in-law. Kumbe, me I'm thinking I'm hearing voices. Kumbe the recovery room and like the waiting room,
We're
they're
just
right.
next to each other.
I'm going. Nimeenda. Where's the stairs?
Yeah.
I know.
So afterwards, did I even get to see them maybe for a minute? I was whisked away to the ward to now recuperate till morning.
Yeah.
And that was a very hard time. And everyone keeps telling you, usijali, it happens.
You'll get another one.
And right now, okay, I kind of understand. People mean well. Yeah, but at that time, it's not what. Because I had now so many fears. Because I'm like, what does that mean?
True.
What does this say? Because for some people, that is the first series of many.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is no one tells you why it happened, what is happening.
The answers, what's happening to your body, why did it happen?
Because you're asking, why did they lose the baby? There are many reasons why you
There are many, so they're not even
like
telling
which
you
one.
any specific reason.
Yeah, so that
it's
next
just
time,
general.
what can
you
I
try mitigate?
Yes,
you know.
they're like, we don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it leaves you with more questions than even answers.
Yes, and I think it's one of the least researched fields in medicine.
Yeah.
So you just go, and then they tell you like, if you can't conceive within a year,
Pia iko shida tena.
So there's 1 year.
There's a timeline now.
To wait 1 year
to know whether I have an issue or not.
And then also for the miscarriages, it's only for most they only intervene when you've had 3 consecutive miscarriages.
Yes, that's true. Just one, they'll tell you.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Let's try again.
Yeah. And there is no support through that. Is you
do life.
You do life.
Deal with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So
because also there's no is it not sick of, there's no leave for such.
Do you know by the way, there's no leave. You just take the usual sick leave.
Have to go back to life full blown quickly.
My employer was so gracious.
Oh, that's
good. So I got I got a week. But I asked for a week. I was like, I don't want to wallow in that.
Yeah.
So I take the leave, come back, and so you're told to wait 3 months before you can try again. Start trying. So we wait, and we want to try again.
Yeah.
But we are also grieving. We are also exhausted by thinking. You've entered this season where it's all you're thinking about.
Yeah.
And within like a month, we were like, okay, let's just not try. Kumbe hatujui.
Umeingiza mtu.
Yeah.
Come on. This is when you guys went for the vacation, right?
So we go. Luckily, my doctor is very keen. Whether your concerns are valid, whether it's anxiety, he really tries to. It's Dr. Thuo of La Femme. I would really recommend him and his wife, Dr. Martha. So he was really considerate, and I remember now he just said, "There's one thing I can give you to just see if it works. Fine." So he prescribed like sort of like a bed rest for the first 14 weeks. And he gave medicine to help hold.
What is it?
The sac.
It's called Sustain. Is it progesterone?
There's one you insert.
I couldn't insert.
Depends.
So that worked for me, imagine. Because he was like, there's one solution I can give you without much
interference.
So we did that, and that has had to happen for both my pregnancies. So I'm just that person. For me, especially in the first trimester, mimba ni ugonjwa. And I stopped feeling guilty for it. Everyone has their own
season
experience.
Experiences are very different.
So
it's true.
So for me, lakini wanasemanga mimba inatakanga kutoka sana ni mimba ya tajiri. Because for me, the first trimester, if I just I can threaten.
You can threaten.
So for me,
you have to move slowly.
I have to rest. I spent most of my days with my legs up, working from the bed, working from the couch. I don't move around much. I don't go on rough terrain. Because I remember even with my with all of them, like if you would go on like a bumpy road, I would just start cramping. Yeah. So for the first 9, 10 to 14 weeks, I reduce. Yeah. And then once the pregnancy is really and that's why my pregnancies are offline, because
you're dealing with life.
Yeah. So we managed to make it past, because first of all, when you've had a miscarriage, the goal is first of all to get past
that time,
the point at which you miscarried. And mine was in the first trimester, so that was goal 1, and then get past 14, 16 weeks. And then from there the doctor is like, okay, we are good, you're good. And so we go on. The rest of the pregnancy was in second trimester. I'm normally thriving. Yes.
It's usually the honeymoon phase of the pregnancy. Most of the pregnancies at
you're
least
glowing.
are good.
Bump
The
is
bum is now
showing.
showing. And now you see, I think the difficult thing with the first trimester is it's not showing.
Yes.
So people are not understanding why you are bleeding. But now in second trimester, at least it's now showing.
Because now the first trimester, the funny thing is, once the pregnancy is like, do I call it solid? Is when people are like nice and, because now they can see.
True.
But you see, the first trimester is when you need people to be very courteous.
True.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of women who become very uncomfortable, like sitting in a mat, or when you go for an event and you're standing for long. It's when you're most sensitive.
Yes.
But then
you
don't want to tell anyone.
You don't want to tell anyone also.
Yes.
It's usually it's a tricky season.
So you're refusing to go places, and you can't explain to people why. You could be missing work, and you're not ready to really tell your employer, in case of anything.
True.
So
it's a tricky season.
it's very tricky.
Yeah, but women really, really need a lot of support in the first trimester. Of course, through the pregnancy. But first trimester is usually just I don't know. I don't want to call it the ghetto, but
and I think it's when the hormone is called
HCG.
It's when it's doubling, tripling, like it's increasing
Every
rapidly.
week, yes.
So that is what is causing all
the discomfort.
Because by the time you're getting to the second trimester, it kind of
levels out.
So now when it's spiking, you're going through a lot.
Yeah, because your body is
wondering,
what is this? What's going on?
Yeah. So where do we get? We get to
second trimester is honeymoon phase.
Yes.
So
and
you're
then
good.
we enter the third trimester when you're exhausted.
You just you're like, this baby should just sleep.
God designed it like that so that you want the baby out.
The baby out.
Yeah.
Because by the second trimester, it's like, how will I be able to push? Oh my God. By the time you hit 32 weeks, you're like, I don't care which hole they come out of.
I just want them out.
I want them out.
Yeah.
And by 37, 38 weeks, I'm begging the baby.
Please come.
Please.
What are you doing?
I hear people drink castor oil.
I did.
Hey, let me tell you.
Bounce on that cupboard, take walks.
Popo. Did you what?
I remember.
You go for walks. Stairs. Did you where?
I remember sending my partner to pump the ball in the middle of the night. So he bought it and he came with it. Pump. And I was like, we are getting the baby out today, so you go.
Just pump it. Do what you need to. Guy, did he have a pump?
No, he had to go to the petrol station or something. So he comes, I am bouncing, I'm doing everything. I keep getting false labor.
Yeah.
And finally, I think there's a day I really, really had labor. So we go. By the time you get to the doctor, you are fine. You get home, you are dying. So we go and the doc is like, okay, where you've gotten, because you keep getting these false starts, let me just go to hospital. We trigger you a bit and see whether it will take on.
They toboad your maji?
No. I'd never accept for them to toboa maji first.
There are a number of procedures they
Before.
follow now the water.
And nurses are normally so eager to break water. I don't know why.
Because it depends.
My
There are
doctor had
people
to stop them.
Yeah, there are people who I think from midwives that I've talked to who believe that when the waters break, for most people it triggers now active phase of labor, which for me it did with my first child. But of course they have to, there are a number of measures before you just go in.
Because they have to give you they have to insert the pill.
First the pill to
wait 8 hours.
Yes.
And all that.
Because there are intervals also.
Yeah. So for me,
more grace to you guys.
I think we should bring Anini here to talk about these things. Because
I'm even trying to think, have I forgotten how I've already said getting
experience
them
was
mixed up.
Mixing them, yeah.
But yeah, so we go and we start the 2 tablets. And I'm waiting. And I think the first one, if I can remember correctly, the first one didn't take. So like they put the first one, waited 6 hours.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And by this time, I'm like 2 centimeters.
Hey.
I have a long way to go.
Yes. Sasa umengojea 6 hours already.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So they try again. Now, when they put the second one, my lord, within 30 minutes.
Hey,
they tell you when they insert, they tell you to lie down for
lay
about
down
2 minutes.
For Nini, don't stand so that CG the dawa takes effect.
Within 30 minutes, I was like,
you're shaking.
I cannot lie down any longer.
I wanna move.
Oh, now labor actually started.
Oh yes, it kicked in, and this was at like 6 p.m. We had guests. I told everyone. And then home.
Oh wait, so they inserted, they gave you the pill, then you went back home.
No. I'm now.
Oh, you're in hospital now.
But
Yeah.
you have people who've come to
They are thinking I'm giving birth today.
Of course, because they left you in pain.
Yes.
They're like, we on the leo.
So, and the funny thing is, so when we were there, because they knew I've started being induced. That's the word I've been looking for this entire time. So I've been induced.
Yeah.
So they're expecting something. So what does my mom and my mom-in-law, what do they start praying? Lord, we pray for pain.
Yeah, but then my doctor told me and keeps telling me no pain, no gain. So if you don't feel the pain, that baby is not coming.
Yeah.
Right
So
the intensity determines.
They pray for pain. The nurse comes, gives me the second tablet, and
The
they
pain
leave
comes.
me going mad.
Now
And you
the
know what
pain
they're
has come.
saying? Oh, thank you,
Jesus.
Lord.
Because now that shows.
Hiyo ndio kile tunataka.
Because it shows there is progress.
Yeah.
So they leave.
Yeah.
And from that point on, my husband and I don't sit.
You're just
'cause
walking,
where?
squatting, bending.
I
Standing.
applaud him because
I mean, I don't even know
Rubbing
why they usually
backs.
say these things you're taught in Lama's class. Sometimes they work, but with me, it didn't work. Let's just say that. I didn't want to be touched. Ati also go and me here.
Achana na mimi.
I didn't want to be touched. I just wanted to go under the bed and relax there. Until the
Under
pain
the
is
bed.
over. Yeah. Once the pain is over, now I come again. I look at him. He's like, now this one. But at some point it was like,
under the bed.
yes. So it just depends with your character, I think. I don't know.
I think for me, I didn't mind the support, but just keep quiet.
Don't tell me things. Don't ask me questions.
You can do this. Who asked you?
For some reason, I don't know why you usually just...
You're just irritable. So me, I was like, just follow me around.
And keep quiet.
Silently.
Silently. So he's following me around. He has a bin because I was vomiting.
Yeah.
So he's... Hey, that guy was keeping an and it reached a point, you've been up and about from 6 p.m. It's around midnight. We started getting tired.
Yeah.
So what we do, in the middle of a contraction, which is like 30 seconds, we are sleeping a little.
Like that one for toddlers where they don't want to eat.
You're like, sleep a little.
No more eats.
And then
sleeping.
the
Of course,
contraction wakes you up.
Yeah.
And then we continue walking. We are squatting.
Gosh.
and then we start sleeping, and then the nurse would burst into the room, and then we pretend like
you are exercising.
So I don't know what was the indicator that I think with my first I couldn't say that instinctively I knew I had gotten to that point. So it was just they were coming in for a check. They come in for a check. Suddenly people start panicking. I can see there's a trolley being brought with something wrapped. You know the way they wrap? Okay, I don't know if you've had that experience. They wrap everything needed for delivery in like a green thing.
Okay. Then they
On a
just
trolley.
unwrap it.
So they come, start unwrapping. They're calling the doctor. They're bringing and because I delivered at Nairobi West Hospital. So everything is done in the room. They're bringing the baby's bed. They're bringing the weighing scale.
Everything is
So
happening.
me, I'm there just like,
What's happening?
what's happening? So it was like in a few minutes.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't say I was really like, I'm feeling pain, but I didn't feel that instant of, you know, the way you can say
You can
the
say
baby is
the
coming.
baby is coming.
No.
Yes.
So,
but like in movies, I feel my head.
oh, but I do remember when he told me
You feel a difference.
he was like, okay, so as we wait for the doctor, he told me to kneel on the bed.
This is the nurse now.
Yeah. He told me to kneel on the bed and push gently. Not enough to.
Oh, not enough to like the baby.
Something like that. So I'm doing that. That's when I felt it. I was like, okay, if I continue staying like this, the baby will just come out. So before I knew it, they're there. We push. He's positioning me, and the baby was here. And we were so happy. So my husband saw the baby first. Showed the baby to me. It feels
surreal.
It's like magic.
Right?
I know,
They were in your tummy, now they're outside.
You can't
And
even
they are
believe it.
real. And it was a girl.
And you get
like
to
the
go
one
with
we
them
had seen
home.
in the ultrasound.
I know.
And then they do all the cleaning after. And okay, what I felt jealous is those first few moments, they have them with the dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because for you now, of course, they are.
No, first they put them on your chest.
What? I heard there's a name for that. It's called what? Where they put them on the mother's chest first.
So after a few minutes,
they take them away.
You are left there.
You're waiting.
Collaborating with your guy there. And then I would see my husband with the clothes and the what, and he's beaming. And I want to also see.
Hadi uchovu yenye ulikuwa nayo the
it
fatigue
disappears.
To be honest, I was not even feeling what was happening. Because I had a small cut, so they were stitching me up and everything. I was just like,
wait, for some reason,
can I see her?
Can I see her? And I just couldn't wait to
carry her.
So I'm told to go to the bathroom. I took a bath. They changed the sheets and everything, and then I got to see her now nicely and hold her. Okay, for me it was different because once now I've confirmed, I've seen her, I've held her, I've gotten the okay from the doctor. I was like, okay, it's time to take a nap. Let me just sleep. We will resume activities when I wake up. And I've been looking forward to sleeping because also in the third trimester you've not been sleeping nicely. And this whole process has been so exhausting. So you just I just need 5 hours of just
sleeping.
Tell me why. Someone bursts into the room. I don't know if it was at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Habari, mama uko sawa? Mtoto wako sawa?
True to those two reels they create on Instagram.
But that's what happens.
You never see.
They burst in, they put on the light, they are looking at the baby. I don't know if they were checking
at 3 a.m.
And then they're saying they need to look at the baby kama ako sawa, kama kwani amwangalie mtoto? Umenyonyesha? Si nitamnyonyesha breakfast.
Okay, hata wewe ulikuwa umejaribu sana shwali ati breakfast.
Si nitamnyonyesha asubuhi.
You're like, si anakula kama adults.
Kama ameshiba.
Angejikulia
Angekula bebe.
Akijuali.
No, but it was my first baby. I was clueless.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, so you're
I
like,
was
this
like,
baby has come
after all
full.
that work,
Yeah.
I should rest a bit.
Anyway,
What time
you
did
are
you
you are
deliver,
even lucky that
actually?
you are allowed to sleep.
It was around 2 a.m. It was a few minutes past 2 a.m.
Oh, so you got almost an hour, almost
Yeah.
50 minutes sleep.
Yeah.
You're even lucky.
And then you're like,
anyway.
by then this adult, this is
So they come in. First of me, sijui kunionyesha. So ako like,
they expect you to know.
kunionyesha
Vile
vile utanyonyesha.
unamnyonyesha. I don't know why they do that thing though.
So I take, I'm like, me, this is what I saw my mom do. So she's and then nurse says,
Wewe.
kwani unanyonyesha nika unapea mtoto sigara? Like, what is going on?
I think on top of touts
oh my
and their
God.
answers, nurses are
Nurses
close second.
are- yes.
Why are you giving a baby the cigarette?
Unampea sigara. Okay. But that nurse, in as much as to entertain, I can
Yeah.
say
Oh, like the
she
way-
was not rude,
Yeah.
but she was just very humorous.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm getting offended.
Yeah, because you're like, what do you mean?
My husband ameisha mpaka sasa akafanya pia mimi nianze kucheka.
Yeah.
So she leaves me, I breastfeed the baby,
Yeah.
and we are like, okay, let me go back to sleep. So amenyonya. Put them back, we go back to sleep. Now, not to mention,
Yeah.
immediately after we delivered and everything, my husband slept. Yeah. And
So
I don't know. I don't know. For this cigarette thing, I think it happened in the morning.
Yeah.
So the nurse who came
At 3 a.m.
at 3 a.m. I think that she's the one. She let me breastfeed. However,
You wanted.
alikuja akaniambia uko na maziwa. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
Why
press.
you finya me like that?
But
Without
they press.
asking for
They don't even
consent.
ask. They just press.
Just reached out. You know, I couldn't even believe it.
You are like,
Reached out, grabbed,
They
squeezed.
squeeze, see
And
whether
she's like,
milk
okay,
is
there's
talking.
milk.
They're like, okay,
like
sour.
take the baby, breastfeed, and then I don't know what they were giving us. I don't know if I was nilidungwa shindano. I don't remember. Then she gives. This whole time.
yeah.
So this nurse comes, another one comes, a cleaner comes. This is all before 6 a.m.
There's like so much interruption.
Yeah. Someone comes by 5 a.m. They bring the porridge and the whatever.
Yeah.
And this is
Hot
porridge. It's not
meaning-
breakfast. At
Yeah.
7 they will come to bring the breakfast.
Yeah.
All this is happening. My dear husband has
He's
been asleep.
sleeping.
He wakes up.
It's
at-
like arise and
I
shine,
think it was
darling.
6 a.m. when we were giving the breakfast, or I don't know. And he's like, "You slept well?"
Arise and shine, darling.
And then, so now in the morning is when the pediatrician comes. Is when the so the nurse
The
now
routine
of,
checks
of
now
showing
start.
for lactation. I don't know what they are called. The lactation specialist.
Specialist,
But
yeah.
it's just one of the midwives who
Yes.
it's like that's the expertise.
Yeah.
So she comes and that whole scenario
Now she
happens.
asks you, yeah. Show me.
Show me.
Yeah.
Navutisha mtoto sigara. And then my gyna comes. So I remember I was given the green light and we're like, you'd be good to go. I don't know if we left that day. Yeah.
So this
You're
nurse,
good to
by the way,
go.
who asked you whether you're giving the child cigarettes, did she show you how to now breastfeed
Yes,
properly?
so she showed
okay.
me how to hold. She was so sweet,
Oh,
actually.
that's good.
So she showed me everything and she
Yeah.
told me you'll get a hang of it, gave me all the positions, and we would always refer to what she told us that day. And so with everything set, and what I like about if delivery is relatively
Normal. You won't stay in
natural,
hospital
you
for
don't
long.
need to
Yeah.
stay. Once you've been seen by the doctor and you're fine,
Yeah.
And the baby
And
is
the
fine.
baby is
and
fine,
that's it.
you can
yeah,
go.
you can go home.
so I
yeah.
think we were discharged. Yeah, we were discharged that day, and we go home to live happily ever after.
Come on.
Or so we thought.